Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I am so happy you're here. In today's episode, we are going to be addressing the law of assumption and why focusing on the time or why it's taking so long is actually slowing your manifestation down. And not only is it slowing it down, but it's pulling you out of the end state. This is something that I actually struggled with in the beginning of my mindset journey, and learning more about law of assumption and manifestation, the more I understood and grasped the concept. So if you're worried about time, you might not be fully grasping it yet, and that's okay because I was in your shoes. So when you're obsessed about how long it's taking or the timeline of how this or when this has to unfold, that is usually what is keeping you in the state of being of not having it. So with the law of assumption, whatever you assume to be true is true. If you assume it's going to take a long time, if you assume it's not yours now, you're going to keep experiencing that reality. And this is how true, this is how simple it is. I really want to help you fully grasp this concept and to stop giving about how long it's taking, because it really doesn't matter. The time does not matter. Manifestation is actually instant. The second you decide something is yours, it's yours. If you're constantly worried about how long your manifestation is taking or why it isn't here yet, you're not fully grasping or understanding manifestation. You're not really fully understanding law of assumption. And I know that sounds kind of harsh, but it's honest. If you truly understood the concept, you would not be focused on the time, and I'm going to explain why. Law of assumption basically says whatever you assume to be true is true, and it naturally becomes your experience. Whatever thoughts you are dominantly entertaining is what is being presented to you in your 3D world. The law of assumption doesn't say it might happen, this might eventually happen. It says that it is going to happen, period. So the moment you assume, I have that relationship, I have this job, I have this specific dollar amount, whatever you were trying to bring into your life, that specific assumption becomes your reality. Not later, not when it shows up, now. And I think this is something that most people miss, and it's definitely something that I missed in the beginning too. The external world is truly just playing catch up with your assumptions and your inner state of being, which is why nervous system regulation, breath work, focusing on how you are dominantly thinking and feeling during the day is very important. I'm going to be really honest with you, and I really want you to ask yourself this question as well. If you truly had your manifestation, and this is where embodiment comes into play, would you be so worried about the time? Even if you're manifesting on a time crunch, you wouldn't even be aware that it's not here. You would be dominantly assuming and expecting that God, the universe source, is going to do the work for you, and it's going to come into your life no matter what. This is another thing that I honestly had to sit down and have an honest conversation with myself, because I understood manifestation. I got the mindset portion. I understood that my thoughts create. I understood that my feeling state needed to be addressed. And I understood that whatever I'm dominantly thinking and feeling is going to create in my life. I understood that. The part that I think comes with not only just age, maturity, but also spiritual maturity as well. If you truly look back on all the experiences in your life, and even the negative ones, the negative experiences that you thought were negative, looking back, it actually was perfectly happening. Everything is happening so perfect in your world, even if it's crumbling and even if it might feel like whatever you're applying isn't working, it's always working. What I was trying to say was the problem that I was really struggling with was micromanaging the time. And the piece that I was missing was the embodiment piece. Actually stepping into the identity and becoming the person that has it. In my reality, becoming the person that has that dollar amount wouldn't be worried about how it's going to come into my life. I would just be pleasantly expecting, showing up daily in my daily routines, regulating my nervous system. It actually came from me taking inspired action. And inspired action, you're not even going to really recognize or realize that you're doing it. Inspired action is not going to feel like you're having to think super hard on it or ask if you should do it or if you shouldn't do it. If you're in that state of being kind of confused and conflicted on what to do, I recommend you do nothing, because you don't want to make anything more complicated when it truly comes down to stability and regulating your nervous system. You'll also see when you become fully trusting in the universe or God or source, you're not going to feel really worried about the time, because you're almost going to be coming from the mindset of it's inevitable. I'm bound to get whatever I want because that's what I decided for myself. Back to what I was saying, when you're too worried about the time, and I understand it, it can be frustrating, especially when you're just getting impatient, you're not seeing results, you're doing all of these things, and you're still not seeing your manifestation show up. What does this mean? How can you deal with this state? And what are some mindset shifts that you can make in order to help you get out of this? So when you start asking questions like, why is it taking so long? Did I mess something up? What else do I need to do? You're actually not living in the assumed version of you that already has your manifestation. You're in lack. Basically, you've left the end state. If you're living in your wish fulfilled, that question alone, why is it taking so long, is the reason why you don't have your manifestation. And I know that's really frustrating to hear, especially when you are doing all of these things and focusing on your mindset and finally addressing the things that you're struggling with, and you're still not seeing it show up. It can make it feel like manifestation is not real. You start to doubt, you start to spiral, you revert back to old patterns. The only reason why this question comes up is because you don't fully believe in yourself. You don't fully believe that you can have whatever you want. And I know that this is frustrating to hear, but I'm just being very honest with you because I wish someone was honest with me about this feeling. I have been here plenty of times. You are not alone if you're feeling like this. Example, go to a restaurant, you order your food. You want to manifest something, you think about the manifestation, right? You're sitting in a restaurant, you order the food. You're not asking your waiter every 5 minutes when the food's gonna come. You're not checking back in the kitchen, asking all the ingredients they're putting in, or what spices are in there, who's making it. You're not even quite, you're just expecting your food. You ordered it, right? Your food has to come. It's the exact same thing with manifestation. You never know how this thing's going to unfold. The ways that my money manifestations have unfolded, the ways that my relationship manifestations have unfolded, I could have never expected it happening in that way. And it's funny because even in the moments where I thought the opposite was happening, meaning I thought I wasn't getting what I wanted, it actually was leading me to exactly what I wanted. And that is, I think honestly, it's really neat. And the reason I use the restaurant analogy is because you're not going to be thinking about your manifestation all day long. It's not going to feel like something that is super pressing on your life, just like you ordering food at a restaurant. You're not going to be thinking about the dish that you ordered while you're eating your appetizers. You might for a little bit, but it's not going to be like, oh my God, I'm starving. When is this going to happen? You're going to be enjoying the unfolding, just like you're enjoying the rest of your meal when you eat dinner or when you eat at a restaurant. You're enjoying the rest of your food. So you're going to be enjoying the rest of your life as your manifestation shows itself. And that is truly how simple it is. Every time you start to spiral and feel that sense of urgency, I want you to remind yourself, I always get what I want. This is bringing me to exactly what I want to experience. There is no time lag in my reality. When you feel a sense of urgency, when you feel like you need the thing right now, what you're failing to realize is that God works in mysterious ways. And I know you've probably heard that before, but the universe works in such mysterious ways. The unfolding is actually helping you. As I've gotten older and as I've evolved in my mindset journey, I've come to realize that everything is happening so perfectly that I rest in that knowing. I don't really need to do much. Relax, I can expect, and I can allow. The only timeline that matters is the one that you claim is true. Imagine if I said to you, congratulations, it's already done. You've got it. You don't need to do anything else. Regulate your nervous system, pleasantly expect, go have fun, have a good day, but it's already yours. Would you still be stressing about how long it's taking if you truly knew it was yours? Or would you breathe? Would you drop your shoulders, relax, and enjoy the rest of your day? Enjoying your life, enjoying the unfolding. And would you let it unfold with certainty? The more you try and force, and I'm sure if you've done this, you've seen quite the opposite show up in your experience. The more you try and force things to happen, the more it's going to repel. The more you can relax, the more you can enjoy the ride, the easier that this journey to your manifestation becomes. This is also where self-concept work comes in. Self-concept, the beliefs you hold about yourself, how you view yourself, your self-love. When you deeply know down to your core, I am the person who always gets what I want. I never chase. I never have to worry about the how. I attract and I align. The need to change, the need to chase or force things in your physical world stops. You relax and you decide. You stop looking for evidence because your inner world, the way that you view yourself, is the evidence. And ironically, that's when you'll start to see your external world shift too. And that is the most important part. Your inner world, your inner talk, the way you view yourself, that's why for me personally now, manifestation is so easy because I have such a deep inner knowing and such confidence in myself, in my ability to create things, that I don't really care what's showing up in my experience. And that's why I always get what I want. Integrating that belief too of I always get what I want is the most fun because the doubting stops. You don't have to question anything. You become a lot happier too because now you're just enjoying your life, pleasantly expecting it's bound to happen. So here's what I want you to ask yourself. If I already had it, how would I feel right now? Honestly and truly, if you truly had your manifestation, how would you feel? If you actually trusted the law of assumption, if you actually trusted yourself, how would you be showing up in your day-to-day life? And can I let go of the calendar and trust in my inner state over the clock? That's where the shifts happen. That's where your manifestation comes in. Not when you're waiting for it to show up. Not when you're dwelling in the fact that it's not here. But when you truly embody the version of you that already has it. Live from the wish fulfilled, not from the wish pending. I've received so many manifestations during breathwork. So many. And you know why? It's because my focus wasn't on my manifestation anymore and I was truly feeling my best. So what assumption are you choosing to live from today? Do you have it or do you not have it? Are you still waiting or are you deciding? And not even just you having to make things happen. Manifestation takes no, I don't want to say takes no physical action, but it takes little to none. You're not gonna have to go out into your experience and do things. You're gonna feel very guided and trusting that what you're doing now is enough and it's going to lead you to exactly what you want to experience. Because you truly understand you are the creator. You make the decisions. You call the shots. I'm actually gonna do a quick story time on how this actually works. I go to EDC every year. It's a big music festival in Vegas, and the year, I think it was 2022, I didn't have any tickets, but I knew about manifestation, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna manifest tickets. Long story short, I flew to Vegas with all my friends. I only had money for the flight and the hotel. We get to the pool party on Friday afternoon, and the festival is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's all 3 days of that weekend. And of course I wanted to go all 3 days, but I had not told any of my girlfriends that I didn't have tickets yet because I was more pressure on myself. I just wanted to just enjoy. Anyways, we get to the pool party, and by this point, we got there at we were leaving at 5 p.m. So I'm gonna give you the time frame of how long I had to get these tickets, okay? The fun part about it was that I was playful with it. And I think this is also another point that I wanted to make. The more playful you are with your desires, the less importance you place on them. And I know that kind of sounds backwards because it's like, well, this thing is important to me. And it's like, yes, but you need to be playful with your desires. The more playful you are with your manifestations and the more fun you can have, the easier it becomes. I enjoy the pool party. We get a section and we're sitting next to this group of people. I'm sitting there talking to them. Oh, I don't have tickets. And they're like, looked at me like I was crazy. And my friends overheard and they're like, what? You don't have tickets? Are you serious? Like, how are you gonna get in? And I was like, I'm not really worried about it. One of the people that were in this section were like, do you need extra tickets? Because we have extra tickets. And I thought that they had meant like, do you want to buy these tickets off of us? And I was like, oh no, I'm okay. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And they're like, no, actually we have artist bands. And they had artist bands for all 3 days. I ended up becoming friends with them. I'm still friends with them till this day. And I always tell them the story and they find it so fascinating. The reason I'm saying the time crunch thing is I had literally 4 hours to manifest these tickets because we were leaving at 5 p.m. We got there at 1. If I had not, the amount of things that had occurred within that short amount of time, 4 hours is not that long if you really think about it. And we could have been sat next to a different table. We could have shown up at a later time. We could have chosen to not gone to that pool at that time or that day. We could have chose to just stay in the hotel rooms. Like, there are so many different things that led me to my manifestation, and I wasn't worried about it. I was having fun. I was enjoying my life. That's why it came in when it did. And I truly think that is the secret sauce, is not caring. I think I've only told this story to a few of my friends, but this is actually what got me into manifestation. And EDC, that festival that year, was completely sold out. Like, there were no tickets left. You couldn't even go online and buy tickets. So the fact that I got those tickets, artist bands at that, just goes to show that there is an infinite amount of ways for things to unfold. So have faith, trust yourself. And that was before I even knew about nervous system regulation, breath work, and all that jazz. So that breath work piece was literally an added supplement to my manifestation game. I don't use it as much anymore because I am in a more stable place in my life now. But about a year ago, I was using it a lot. So that little story right there, just even EDC this year, I wasn't supposed to go this year. And I got invited like last minute. There's so many ways that things can unfold. So I just really want you to understand, have faith in yourself, have fun with this. Manifestation is supposed to be a lot of fun. It's not meant to be like something that you're supposed to lock yourself in a room and be sad about it all the time. Put the focus on yourself, have fun with it, be playful with it. And if you're not feeling the best right now, do some breath work. But you got this. Discipline your mind. And you call the shots. You decide. Always. I love hearing your success stories. I've gotten so many emails and DMs about you guys actually applying the content that I'm putting out there, and seeing the success stories just makes my heart so happy. So I'm proud of you guys. Stick to your routines. But until next time, I will see you next time. And always remember to respect yourself, love yourself, honor yourself, and you deserve the best because you said so. Bye.